Breaking at 6, floodwaters fill a hotel parking garage, trapping cars in feet of water. The effort now to clear this out as we track when more rain could be headed to your neighborhood.
And a political crisis, a new twist in the chaos surrounding Puerto Rico's governor, why the island may not have a governor by the end of the day.
And today you can get the supplies your kids need tax-free. The app you should download to do some comparison shopping before you leave the house.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. Time to wake up and start your day.
This is ABC Action News in the morning.
Almost back to school time. Can you feel it?
Oh, gosh, yes. I feel the stress.
Yeah. Dia feels it more than we do. Good morning, Tampa Bay. I'm James Tully.
And good morning. I'm Dia Riley. We've got Sarah Finney watching the roads. It's still going to be light somewhat until the kids hit,
we need to
back to school.
enjoy the days like today.
We do, exactly.
That's for sure.
I wish that we didn't have to deal with the rain, though.
Yeah, incredible amounts of rain. And it was record-breaking yesterday in St. Petersburg. 3.5 inches of rain falling in 1 hour. Just 1 hour. That's almost talking like tropical storm or hurricane strength rains when you look at those coming through Tampa Bay. Just incredible. So unfortunately, more rain in the forecast today. St. Pete, that's not what you need and not what you want to hear, but that's what we have for you today. Unfortunately, we're at 78. Clearwater in Tampa, 75. We had flooding in Wesley Chapel as well yesterday, so it wasn't just confined to Pinellas County. It was across a lot of areas that have picked up so much rain over the last month, it seems. It's just been a soaking rainy season, even though it's supposed to be wet this time of year. But yeah, it's just been a little excessive, and thankfully we're dry for the morning commute. Your evening commute, like it's been the last several days, will feature the widespread chances of showers and thunderstorms. So out the door right now with mid-70s, we're looking at low 80s by noon, and we're only into the mid and upper 80s today for highs, given that we're starting out with cloud cover, and we've got a lot of clouds that'll stick with us through the day today. There it is, though. 80% chance of rain as we go into the afternoon. Sarah, any leftover flooding on some of the roads you've been watching?
Here's the good news, not that I'm seeing, but of course, Lauren Rosella on the scene of some flooding in St. Pete that we'll get to her in just a moment. This is the view right now from Live Drive as we head on 275 southbound. Really goes to the northern apex. Of course, that's where 75 and 275 come together. Here's great news as we head out the door. My current crash count sitting at 0 right now. No issues to report by FHP or the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office in terms of roadblock. Taking the veterans this morning, 6 minutes from Waters to 275, pretty standard. Coming up next, I'll break down the St. Pete to Tampa commute and tell you what exactly to expect. Dia.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Coming up in 2 minutes after 6. Breaking right now, we're trying to find out exactly how many cars are damaged by floodwater in the valet parking garage at the Vinoy Hotel in St. Pete.
Take a look at the video. It might be a lot of cars that were damaged. Water at one point we saw rising past car doors. We go out now to ABC Action News reporter Lauren Rosella. She is there for us. And Lauren, is it even safe to go back in that garage yet?
No, James, it is not. They still have this all roped off. You can see by yellow tape as workers try very hard to get all of this water out of the garage. We have now seen water levels dropping down to about the car tires. You can see, again, these workers are out here just trying to see what can be salvaged. But take another look at this video we got overnight of those cars in several feet of water. Strong storms bringing on that flooding. In fact, St. Pete broke its record for daily rainfall yesterday with more than 3 inches of rain, and even more is expected today. Several cars are likely destroyed, but we are working to see if any of them can be saved. Now back out here live, taking a look at them trying to get all of this flood water out. We do have calls in right now to the Vinoy Renaissance to see when it may be safe for drivers to come in and inspect their cars, or when cars are able to go in and out. Now, one other thing to note, there is a little bit of water here on the street right outside the Vinoy Renaissance as they work to get the water out of the garage, but we also have seen cars going in the regular parking entrance up to the upper floors, so it does seem like some people are able to get into the top levels of the garage. Reporting live this morning in St. Pete, Lauren Rosella, ABC Action News.
Lauren, thank you. We go right to more breaking news overnight. A driver hits and kills a man in an electric wheelchair in Clearwater. Authorities, though, are not expecting to charge that driver. Paramedics rushed that man to Bayfront Health in St. Pete, where he passed away. Police say he was not in a crosswalk as he crossed South Missouri Avenue near Lakeview Drive. We're still waiting to find out his name. We do know the driver remained on scene. Officers don't suspect that driver was under the influence.
New this morning, Florida's waiting period for abortions is back in the spotlight this morning. A court now says a judge erred when he declared the 24-hour waiting period unconstitutional. That became law in 2015, but hasn't been implemented because of legal challenges. The court argues that the waiting period is needed to ensure informed consent by women.
Puerto Rico's Governor Ricardo Rossello has promised to step down tonight at 5 o'clock after massive protests swept through the island. At this time, though, it's unclear who is going to replace him. Now, we told you he nominated this man, Pedro Pierluisi, to succeed him, but his confirmation hearing is now delayed to next week. So currently, the woman set to take over is Justice Secretary Wanda Vasquez. She says she doesn't want the job, but will assume the responsibility is required by law. All of this very fluid. We'll, of course, keep you updated throughout the day.
Now to some tragic news that you will hear more about throughout the day. The 22-year-old granddaughter of Robert F. Kennedy was found dead inside the family's Cape Cod compound. There are reports that 22-year-old Saoirse Kennedy Hill died of an apparent overdose. In a statement, the family says, "Our hearts are shattered by the loss of our beloved Saoirse."
Happening today, it is the start of a tax-free holiday.
Yeah, get all your back-to-school supplies. Some families can spend up to $600 on back-to-school supplies, but today you can get that small discount. Every little bit helps.
Every little bit. ABC Action News reporter Jasmine Stiles live from Target with a couple other ways to save some cash today. Hey, Jasmine.
Hey, James and Dia. So we did the legwork for you and found out 3 stores beat the competition out for at least a dozen school supplies. We're talking Walmart, Staples, and right here at Target. So the other major retail giant that you shouldn't count out either is Amazon. During our shopping spree at Target, we found a package of 2 dozen pre-sharpened pencils for $4.79. Then we pulled up the Amazon app on our phone, searched for those same pencils, and saw they were $1 cheaper. The secret to big savings is to shop around. You want to do your research and hop online to see who has the best deals or coupons, then go store to store. And before you even leave the house, check that back closet or that junk drawer. You may have a stockpile of supplies left over from last year. For more money-saving tips and the list of all the items eligible for the back-to-school sales tax holiday, you can go to a special section on our website. That's abcactionnews.com/back-to-school. And then coming up at 6:30, we'll tell you the maximum price you should pay for a lot of the school supplies that you already have on your list. We're live in Tampa. I'm Jasmine Stiles, ABC Action News.
Thank you, Jasmine. Happening tomorrow, we're teaming up with Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine for the 12th annual Back to School Fair.
Thanks.
We will be at West Shore Plaza from 10 until 3. Dia, Sarah, and myself, you want to get there early because we'll give the first 500 kids arriving one free book bag. You can check out abcactionnews.com/back-to-school to check out our supply drive and how you can double your donations.
Stop by and say hello. It was one of her big campaign promises, and now we're learning Tampa Mayor Jane Castor is budgeting money to equip police officers with body cameras. In the $1 billion budget, that pilot program is proposed to be $1 million. Money will also be set aside for affordable housing and a new sustainability officer to counter climate change. The mayor wants to purchase 550 body cameras, and as a former police chief, she says transparency is important to her and the department.
The roadblock has always been the price. I say that body-worn camera pilot program is French for we don't have the money. And so we have put that into the budget, and that was over $1 million into the budget.
The mayor is also asking for about $12 million for transportation improvements. The city council now has until October 1st to approve the budget.
New this morning, Lowe's says it's now laying off thousands of workers, making calls right now to see how many of those jobs are here in the Tampa Bay area. The company says it's outsourcing assembly and maintenance jobs to third-party companies because they want store associates to spend more time serving customers. The company would not say exactly how many workers are being laid off. And take a look at this new PSA just unveiled to help crack down on teen vaping in Hillsborough County.
The sheriff's office and the school district are teaming up to make sure that every student knows that there are harsh punishments for vaping. They could even be charged with a felony. This video will run at every single county middle and high school this year. So again, they're making a big push to try to get this to stop.
Yeah, they need to do something for sure, and they're trying to step up and do it. Happening today, there's a groundbreaking ceremony for a new 18-hole golf course in Bradenton. It is set for 10 o'clock this morning. The new golf course is being built on Lorraine Road, about 1 mile north of State Road 70. After the groundbreaking, there will be a meet and greet with the architect of the golf course. But, Dia, I don't think it's going to be a great day to hit the links.
If you go early, maybe. What do you think, Jason?
You nailed it. Go early, go right now if you can, because we're talking about the rain chances even picking up here in just a couple of hours. So it's dry at the moment. There's what it looks like from downtown Tampa, Rivergate Tower, Tampa. I did it again. It's a camera in Tampa yesterday. I put them together. Man, thank goodness Greg is back Monday, so I can go home and sleep. But there we go. We're looking outside in Tampa right now. Here's what it's going to look like this afternoon, though. We'll see widespread showers and thunderstorms setting up here. The rain chances are up to 80% this afternoon. And like we saw yesterday, some of these storms could put out very heavy rainfall in a short amount of time. We had the record rainfall yesterday in St. Pete of over 3.5 inches of rainfall. And thankfully, that was yesterday afternoon, not this morning, so no weather-related concerns right now.
That is the great news as you head out the door. But later on, check Tampa Bay traffic before you leave work to go home, because it could be a little dicey. If you are coming from St. Pete to Tampa, this is how your commute is shaping up. Very slight slowdowns showing up by my sensors on the Howard Franklin. It's about a 21-minute drive from 175 all the way to I-4 on 275. Of course, you're going to be spending the most amount of time on the Howard Franklin. This is The View, 275 southbound at MLK. Traffic is picking up here. I'll let you know how the drive times are shaping up in 10 minutes. Dia.
All right, thank you, Sarah. 9 minutes after 6 now. New this morning, a Florida city hit by a cyber attack. The money that hackers got, and why city officials say this was inevitable.
And hitting the door in style. New today, the way this pop-up store gives its owner and local teachers hope that lasts long beyond the first day of school.
New at 6, another Florida city now says it is a victim of a cyber criminal attack. Naples city leaders say thieves got away with $700,000. Investigators have taken over the case. The city, though, released a statement saying the hackers got through despite their best preventative measures, saying it's not if cities get hacked, but when. They're just the latest Florida city to be attacked this way. Lake City, you remember, agreed to pay nearly $500,000 to get its computer system working again after hackers hit them.
Well, I want to talk about a new cancer treatment that could be a real game changer. It uses 2 drugs, but no chemotherapy. Researchers just announcing they found the 2-drug combo to beat the most common type of leukemia at a better rate than traditional chemotherapy. Treatments, it reduced death rates by a staggering 83%, even slowing the disease's progression down. Scientists say it's very hopeful, but they're still learning how to combine the two and how it affects different people.
Happening today, the Pitch for Pink breast cancer awareness event is going to be held during tonight's game between the Clearwater Threshers and the Tampa Tarpons. It kicks off at 5:30 at Spectrum Field. You can get a ticket for just $6. The money raised supports the breast health services and programs at Morton Plant Mease Hospital.
This morning, a new program at the Bay Pines VA is helping to connect vets to doctors.
And the best part about this, they never even have to leave their home to be seen. The new Video On Demand program connects vets not only to doctors, but pharmacists and psychiatrists via video chat. And this is certainly great news for retired Marine Serena Taita. She suffers from excruciating pain, and traveling to see a doctor is often tough on her.
I can actually take the camera and bring it down to my knee and show my doctor, look how swollen it is, or look at how red it is.
It's absolutely rewarding. I mean, the veterans have given so much for this country, so it's a pleasure to give something back to them.
The VA Connects chats can be scheduled with just a few hours' notice. Doctors can even prescribe medication moments after a chat.
New this morning, a little clothing shop in Pasco County with a very big heart. It's open this weekend, where everything is for teachers and everything is free. Designer dresses, shoes, jewelry, and of course, the pants.
I'm also super excited about these pants with the ruffles on the bottom.
Oh, those are cute. Yes, yeah, definitely. This was your first time this year?
Yes.
It's amazing. I know that we've made her proud. You'll get me emotional at the moment.
Debbie Schakowski's talking about the inspiration for her pop-up store. Her sister Marjorie, who she tells me was killed by a drunk driver 21 years ago.
Once you love, you never stop loving, you never forget. So all those cliches that you read on Facebook are garbage. Okay, I miss her today as much as I did 21 years ago.
And Debbie memorializes her sister and how charitable Marjorie was with this store that bears her name.
I don't know how Debbie came up with this idea, but it's one of the best things I've ever heard of.
All Debbie did was open her eyes to what she saw teachers really needed.
And my thought is, why hasn't anybody done anything? What are you waiting on? These people need help. Let's do it.
A former nurse, she gave up her income to devote all of her time to this.
You no longer get a typical paycheck, but you find this, I'm guessing, a lot more rewarding.
There's no words to describe the rewards and what you can give back to others, especially when you see them receiving. How was your shopping experience?
It was amazing.
Money isn't exchanged here, but sentiments like these are.
If you're ever having a bad day in the classroom, please remember today, okay, how much you're valued.
I just love what she's doing out there. Marjorie's Hope is still open through the weekend, as I said. If you are an employee in the Pasco County School District, show your ID, take as much as you need. All the information about the shop's location and hours are on abcactionnews.com. Not just women's clothing, there is a whole other store full of men's clothing as well. So if you need the help, there it is.
Fantastic. Love that. Big-hearted folks. Of course, we all appreciate teachers and got to let them show it.
Yeah.
Darn right.
Oh,
Rain.
my turn. I'm telling you.
Rain.
I'm so glad Greg is back Monday morning. These mornings are just not my friend.
I think you're doing all right.
More rain out there
You're so
again
funny,
today.
Jason.
I'm going to take a nap right after the show's over. 75 degrees right now in Tampa, 72 Crystal River, 77 in Bartow, 76 in Bradenton, 75 in Sarasota, and 77 in Bartow. So again, we've got temperatures that have been a little bit cooler this morning. Still mid-70s, but it's better than upper 70s, low 80s, given all the rain that we saw yesterday. And while it's dry at the moment, just aside from a lonely shower this morning, the bulk of the rain is staying offshore and moving towards the west. And we're also looking at offshore rains in the Atlantic. Now, some of that moisture is going to sweep in our direction, but there's even more across portions of the Florida Straits, Cuba, and the Bahamas and South Florida. This is all pinwheeling to the north and towards the west, and that's what's going to give us our chances for widespread showers and storms, starting mainly about 10, 11 o'clock this morning, and then going throughout the afternoon and evening, with the most widespread time frame of rain being between noon and about 8 o'clock. That's when I have rain chances that are as high as 80% today. So mid-80s for highs today. That's some positive news out of all of this. All the clouds helping us keep temperatures down just a little bit. But as we look at futurecast, again, slight shower chance this morning, but really after 10 a.m. we'll start to see a few showers and storms blossoming. Any of these storms that develop, especially some of the stronger ones, could put out over an inch of rainfall per hour. And of course, yesterday we saw 3.5 inches of rain in 1 hour right in St. Petersburg at Albert Whitted Airport. So we are looking at very, very heavy rain with some of these showers and storms, and that will continue through again 5, 6, 7 o'clock. Your evening drive likely to be impacted by these storms, and then moisture will continue to stream in from our south for one more day. And then I think by Sunday and especially into Monday, that's when we're going to start seeing things getting a little bit back to what we would consider normal rain chances this time of year, and that sits around 40% with our sea breeze storms. So as we look at Florida's most accurate 7-day, the tropical wave with us Friday and Saturday. It starts to move out Sunday, and then we go back to nice, normal, drier conditions with hopefully more sunshine and temperatures that are going to be back up into the lower 90s. So getting back to normal with those temperatures too as we head into next week. All right, Sarah, looks like you've got a crash to talk about.
Yes, I am tracking a new crash. FHP just reporting this at 75 southbound. They are on the way right now. This is at Fletcher. At this point, they're not reporting any roadblock, but until they get there, it's hard to determine that. But those are just the initial reports. That is not changing my green light for 75. It looks good northbound and southbound as you approach I-4. I-4 looks good as well, and 275, you get the green light too, because the drive times look great. 5 minutes from Bush to I-4. Don't mind the orange there. That's pretty typical. This is the view of a different section of 275 southbound from Live Drive as we head toward the hour of Howard Franklin, passing Ashley right now. No issues here. Dia.
Thank you, Sarah. 20 minutes after 6, Siri suspended. New this morning, Apple employees are no longer allowed to listen to your voice recordings. The catch that has your privacy at risk.
And our top story getting your attention online, a paramedic talking on Facebook, complaining about service at this McDonald's, the consequences that now has one employee facing. We'll be right back. A lot of you reacting to this story on social media this morning. A Madeira Beach McDonald's fired an employee after a paramedic posted on Facebook saying that he was denied service there. We reached out to that paramedic as well as his employer and have not heard back from them yet. The EMT claims, though, on the post that an employee at the 150th Avenue McDonald's told him and his partner, quote, "We don't serve badges here." The company that runs that restaurant sent us a statement that says, in part, what occurred does not reflect the values of our brand. You can read that full statement in the EMT's full Facebook post right now on abcactionnews.com.
New this morning, Apple is putting a stop to letting contracted employees listen in to your recorded conversations with Siri. It was part of a program to help improve voice recognition accuracy, but those contractors were able to hear your private information. Apple says in a future software update, you'll have the ability to opt out of the accuracy project. The company has not said if it will stop saving your recordings to its servers.
Updating you on some breaking news after the break. Some guests at the Vinoy Hotel are going to be waking up to find their cars damaged after floodwaters fill the parking garage. The reason it's so urgent for crews to get this fixed fast. And the Hillsborough Sheriff making a desperate plea this morning.
It comes after a deputy shot and killed a man with a knife. The one thing that your family is urged to do right now.
Sarah, Jason?
We'll take it from here. Okay, I will. Hey, Live Drive cruising across the Howard Franklin right now. Not finding any issues, but are there problems elsewhere? I'll break that down coming up in just a few minutes. Jason.
And we are talking about more widespread showers and thunderstorms again today, leading to localized flooding, and we've seen that plenty of times this week. I'll let you know exactly when drier weather is back in your 7-day forecast coming up in our next half hour. Stay tuned.
All right, this morning we're staying on top of some breaking news. Some guests are waiting to get their cars because of this flood water that's filling the parking garage at the Vinoy in St. Pete. So glad you stayed with us. I'm James Tully.
And good morning, I'm Dia Riley. What a headache they're waking up to right now. Several of these cars are likely destroyed. Our crews on the scene tell us the water is up to the doors in some parts of that garage. It's in the valet parking garage. ABC Action News reporter Lauren Rosella is out there right now live. Lauren, crews are rushing because more rain is on the way.
That's the most troubling news of this, Dia. Good morning. So we are out here as workers are just trying to get that water out before that rain is likely this afternoon. We're seeing the water levels dropping down to about the tires. You can see the workers are out here with pumps gradually getting that water out. But take another look at this video we got overnight of those cars in feet of water, strong storms bringing on the flooding. In fact, St. Pete broke its record for daily rainfall yesterday with more than 3 inches of rain, and even more, as we said, expected today, nearly an inch per hour. Several cars are likely destroyed, but we are working and making calls right now to see if any of them can be salvaged. And back out here live, if you are coming and going from the Vinoy Renaissance here in St. Pete in Needham Park, we do want to let you know that we made calls to security and the P2 parking garage is open. It is just appearing that the valet entrance right here is closed, but also if you are driving in this area near Vinoy Park, just be aware there is a lot of water on the ground as they work to get the water out of this garage. Reporting live in St. Pete, Lauren Rosella, ABC Action News.
Thank you, Lauren. What a mess out there. And of course, we're looking at more widespread showers and thunderstorms again today.
Yeah, Jason Adams, he's in for Greg D to break down when we can expect more rain to start.
Well, thankfully, it's not this morning, so there's a little bit of a reprieve on the way for a lot of people in St. Pete. As the radar looks crystal clear, there's a lot of storms offshore, but here in the city, we are not seeing any rain over St. Pete, and that's great news for your morning drive on 275 into Tampa, or if you're taking 275 south from Tampa to St. Pete. No rain at the moment. That changes, though, later on today, so let's get right to it. Futurecast shows that we have a slight shower chance this morning through about 10 a.m., and then after 10 a.m., I expect to see the storms really begin to bubble in our inland spots and then move back west towards the beaches. And any of these thunderstorms throughout the afternoon and evening, like yesterday, will have the potential to produce rainfall rates over 1 inch per hour. And we picked up 3.58, 3.5 inches of rainfall in St. Pete yesterday in 1 hour. That's what led to the flooding there. So that's the type of rainfall we could see today. All of this associated with the same tropical wave we've been watching the last few days. It's here. It'll be here through tomorrow, but I promise you drier days are ahead. And I'll show you that coming up in Florida's most accurate 7-day in just a few minutes. Sarah?
I am still tracking a crash 75 southbound at Fletcher. FHP continues to be on the way to this crash. Initial reports were no roadblock, but it's hard to determine that until they get on scene to tell exactly what they're dealing with. 75 southbound drive times not affected, 7 minutes from Brucey Downs to I-4. Elsewhere, it is certainly a coffee, eggs, and bacon kind of morning. You don't need to rush out the door. It is quiet on the roads, that is for sure, especially here, 275 northbound and southbound through St. Pete from the Skyway to the Howard Franklin and back. It's a 12 to 13-minute drive each way. Dia.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Also breaking this morning, St. Pete police say a pickup truck crashed into a water line early this morning.
Yeah, take a look at this water. At some point spewing up to 20 feet in the air, at least 20 feet. It knocked out water to several businesses, too. This is near 4th Street North. 2 people inside the truck weren't hurt. One was arrested, though, for being drunk and disorderly. The water line's now been cut off, and the water, we understand, is receding.
Happening today, closing arguments could begin in the case against a woman accused of killing her mother and her stepfather. If convicted, Nicole Nachman could spend the rest of her life in prison. Her attorneys are trying to convince the jury that she had a troubled childhood and snapped after years of abuse, shooting the couple in their Carrollwood home in 2015. We will be inside the courtroom when the trial starts at 9 this morning, and whenever a verdict comes down, we'll let you know on ABC Action News streaming now. You can download the app for free on your Roku or other smart TV device.
Hillsborough deputies now on paid administrative leave after he shot and killed a man he says was charging at him with a knife. Eleni Griffin's family says he took a bottle of pills and threatened suicide, so they called for help. They tell us that Griffin was holding a large chef's knife as he chased Deputy Gwyn Tran out of the house. And that deputy fired after retreating, killing Griffin. The sheriff passionately urging anyone to seek help if you need it.
Take the time and make sure that individual's getting the help so we can avoid incidents like this. I'm begging you. I'm doing the pleading now.
The sheriff's office has responded to Griffin's home 3 times in the past to enforce a judge-ordered mental evaluation. If you are struggling, call 211. There is help available.
All right, if you're not near your TV, come on over, take a look at this video right here. See this guy right there? Yeah, a porch pirate caught on camera in Longboat Key. The doorbell Ring camera captured a pretty clear shot of the suspect's face. The items in the package that he took were worth more than $1,400. I want to show you something else here. Investigators say this happened Wednesday night just before 6. You see the car that he left in? A white 4-door sedan? We'll show it to you again. Once he picks up that package, we'll show you the car. It's another key element. Good shot of this guy's face, and then you see the car. If you recognize this guy or you recognize the car, well, we didn't show it again, but if you recognize the car as well, call Longboat Key Police right away.
Like a white 4-door sedan of some kind.
Yep.
Well, starting today, you can get your kids' school supplies tax-free.
And we posted a list of all the eligible items in this special section right here on abcactionnews.com/back-to-school.
Our Jasmine Stiles joins us live from Target with another way that parents can make their dollar go a little bit further. Hey, Jasmine.
Hey, James and Dia. So we went shopping with a money-saving blogger to get tips for you. And one of the best pieces of advice that she gave to us was don't get got by overpaying for items that you shouldn't be paying more for. So for example, there's about a dozen items on the back to school list that you shouldn't be paying more than 75 cents for. Let's give you some examples. You're cruising down the aisles with your cart and you see a 2-pack of glue sticks. Well, you shouldn't pay any more than 50 cents. Markers, they shouldn't go in your cart if they're over $1. Grabbing some loose leaf paper, leave it if it's more than 75 cents. And if you can find your items at even lower price points, stock up. If your kid doesn't get to use them this year, there's always next year. If you're looking for that price point list, we have that link for you on a special section of our website, abcactionnews.com/back-to-school. And coming up at 7, we'll tell you the stores we found had the best deals and the app you should download on your phone before you leave the house. Again, you can watch that exclusively on your favorite streaming device on the ABC Action News app, or you can go to abcactionnews.com and click Watch Live. We're live in Tampa. I'm Jasmine Stiles, ABC Action News.
Thank you, Jasmine. 24 minutes till 7. Tax-free weekend is a great chance to grab a few extra things for kids in need, and we hope you'll pick our school supply drive to donate to. ABC Action News is teaming up with Hudson's Furniture and Perkins Restaurants to double the donations that you make. Any items will help. We have a list of the drop-off sites posted on abcactionnews.com. Plus, head over to our website to learn more about our back-to-school fair and freebies that are happening tomorrow morning.
Driving Tampa Bay forward now. Big relief for those who visit Honeymoon Island in Dunedin. New this morning, local and state officials agreeing to increase the number of entry lanes to the park from 3 to 5. Also is going to be adding some additional parking areas, but don't expect these changes anytime soon. They expect to get it in the budget in 2021. Hey, we're tackling parking and traffic issues as part of our commitment to drive Tampa Bay forward. Call us or email us about the problems that you see impact your everyday life.
This morning, a woman is desperate to get her pet chihuahua named Joy back. Last Saturday, Ruth Williams told us that she traveled from Tennessee to this church in St. Petersburg for a relative's funeral. She says she was only inside for a few minutes, but when she came back outside, her rental car was gone, and so was Joy inside.
Well, she's like my baby. I've had her for almost 10 years, you know. Just have a heart. Please just return her.
Williams is offering a $1,000 reward for the dog's safe return. Anybody with information should contact St. Pete Police.
Anna Maria Island's iconic pier one step closer to being rebuilt. City leaders just approving spending nearly $1 million on the project. The hope is the work is going to start next month and finish up in January. Hurricane Irma destroyed this pier 2 years ago.
Right, take a look at this. You will see these pictures all over your social media feed this morning. This Lakeland couple returned to the Publix grocery store where they first met for their engagement photos. Alexandra was working the register when she first locked eyes with Dylan in the grocery department. The plan is to marry in January And yes, of course, there's going to be a Publix wedding cake.
Well, there has to be one at that point. Those are really good-looking pictures,
Really
too.
cute.
Happening today, you can geek out in downtown Tampa with thousands of other comic book and sci-fi fans. The annual Tampa Bay Comic-Con opens today at noon. Guests include Michael Rooker. He played Yondu, the big blue guy in Guardians of the Galaxy. Bonnie Wright from the Harry Potter movies. And Carol Spinney, who played Big Bird on Sesame Street. And Sarah is going to be there live for us at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and by the way, the autographs and the photos not included in admission. You're going to have to pay extra for that. So let's talk about road closures. Franklin southbound will be closed Saturday and Sunday for pretty much the entire day from Channelside to Water. Also, northbound Franklin will be closed from about Knight's Run to Channelside. That means my friends on Harbor Island, I think you should use Beneficial because you're not going to be able to get out on Franklin. In terms of parking, the Fort Brook Garage is the best bet. That is what the city is suggesting because the convention garage is going to fill up really fast. Or you could just take the Tico streetcar, park in Ybor, and if you'd like to use a ride-sharing service, just know that the drop-off is on Channelside between Florida and Morgan. There is going to be increased traffic, even if you're just passing through on, of course, Franklin, Bayshore, Platte, Channelside, as well as Browreen. And Jason, people are going to start slowing down to take a look at all the people out in costumes there. That's for sure.
Maybe just a little bit distracted out there, that's for sure. But here's a live look outside right now from our Freedom Boat Club camera here in St. Petersburg, where yesterday we had the record rainfall. Chance to dry out just this morning because more thunderstorms are back in the forecast again as we go throughout the day today. So it looks pretty quiet now with mostly cloudy skies, but as we look at the hour by hour, we'll go from this morning dry to already seeing a few scattered storms developing as we go towards 10 and 11 o'clock this morning. With the most widespread rain chance here area-wide across all of West Central Florida will be between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. That's when we're going to see the best chance of rainfall out there. 80% risk of rain today. One of our highest threats we've had so far this summer, not associated with any, of course, tropical systems out there. This is a tropical wave, but thankfully not a depression or a storm. However, we're going to see the heavy rainfall lasting into the weekend. That weekend forecast is coming up next, Dia.
All right, thank you, Jason. 20 minutes till 7 now. Stopping the spread of hepatitis A, the big step the state just took, clearing up resources to stop this epidemic.
And new today, your next text could be your next job. The reason hitting reply could get you an interview.
Also, we want you to know Good Morning Tampa Bay at 7 is now streaming live online. Download our ABC Action News mobile app on your favorite streaming device to get more local news, weather, and traffic.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. Time to wake up and start your day.
This is ABC Action News in the morning.
Hepatitis A is now officially a public health emergency here in Florida. That means the Surgeon General has additional resources to prevent the spread of this highly contagious virus. The latest numbers show more than 2,000 cases in our state, a large number of those cases coming from right here in the Tampa Bay area. The best way to prevent getting hepatitis A is to get the vaccination. This Tarpon Springs grandfather you see right here is hoping to get out of the hospital sometime soon.
He's recovering after coming into contact with the organism that can lead to flesh-eating bacteria. George Billerus got it while standing in knee-deep brackish water with his grandson. Billerus said he had scabs healing on his left leg, but within 24 hours his calf was swollen and too painful to walk on. Doctors treated him before the bacteria turned into the condition that kills skin cells.
The cases are so rare, for the number of, if you look at the percentages of people in the water and everything, don't be afraid to go in the water, just take certain precautions.
Billerus says he hopes to be out of the hospital by Monday.
New this morning, job recruiters are now using text messages to seek out employees. So if you get one of these messages, don't automatically assume that it's a scam. Recruiters are setting up interviews through text for several jobs, including nursing. Search Google and LinkedIn for information about the company before you respond, though. A lot of times a computer will send out the first text, but then once you reply, it then goes to a real person who handles the correspondence going forward.
Happening today, Governor Ron DeSantis says he'll make a major announcement this morning in Charlotte County. He is set to speak at 10:30 at the Sandbar Tiki and Grill in Englewood. We don't know what the governor is going to speak about, but we do know that the State Environmental Protection Secretary and FWC Director are joining him today. As soon as we learn more, we'll bring you an update on our streaming platforms. We want to remind you, Lauren St. Germain, meteorologist Shay Ryan bring you real-time local news and weather all day long on your favorite streaming device starting at 10 a.m. You can get more ABC Action News on your ABC Action News station right here at 3 p.m. Well, the government is now investigating a Manatee County charter school and its former principal.
They are looking into possible fraud, bribery, and other crimes linked to Lincoln Memorial Academy. They've already asked for financial records for former principal Eddie Hundley. Hundley's teaching license was suspended after he helped an accused sex offender get a teaching job. The district says it's working to address the school's $700,000 debt as well.
The district is providing documentation as requested. The district is cooperating with the federal government in their criminal investigation and will continue to do so.
Former board members say they are appealing the termination of the charter license, and they aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
So come take a look at your screen here. It's an ingenious idea, really, to help get lost dogs back to their owners. These pizza boxes, instead of ads, have lost pet flyers on them. Brancato's Brick Oven Pizza in Bradenton now partnering up with the Lost and Found Pets 941 Facebook group. It's a win-win. More pets get to go back home, and Brancato says this helps distinguish them over other restaurants because they're the ones using more ads.
You put them on poles. They're on poles. You're driving down the street. Do you ever stop to read that sign? But everybody gets a pizza box, right?
Well, they hope more pizza places share similar flyers. If you've lost your pet recently, bring a flyer by the shop and they'll get them on the boxes. New this morning, we took action helping a Title I school in Hillsborough County fill a big need.
Now, last week we told you donations to Thompson Elementary's food pantry had to be thrown out because of bugs. 80% of the kids at that school are on free or reduced lunch. Well, the folks at Tampa Bay Harvest, which has a no-cost grocery store, were watching that morning, and they immediately called the station to say that they wanted to help. So we put these two together and problem solved. Thompson Elementary says this is the biggest donation they have ever received.
We have fresh produce, we have bread, we have water, a lot of things that we didn't have previously, so we are more than grateful for what they're doing for us.
It doesn't end there. After seeing the need in the Ruskin area, Tampa Bay Harvest is hoping to set up a satellite location in that area to serve that community. Fantastic. You know, it's one of the best stories of the day.
No doubt. It's fantastic. All right, well, can you give us some fantastic news?
You know, I think I can. We've been pretty lucky this past week with the traffic being light. A lot of people taking off before the school year begins. This is the view from Live Drive right now as we cruise across the Howard Franklin, finding no problems here. It is a smooth ride. It's only 10 minutes across. So this is the view that I want to show you from 275 downtown. And this is the reason why we can't check in with Captain Al, because of these low clouds. Of course, not affecting traffic on the ground, only that in the sky. So no issues there for drivers, but unfortunately for Captain Al, yeah, that's going to ground him for the time being. This is a crash that I'm tracking with slowdown 60 at Ramsgate. It's all the way out in Plant City. Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office is on scene, as well as FHP. They are on the way right now. The other crash, that's on 75 southbound at Fletcher. FHP still en route to this, but it's not affecting drive times. That's why I'm giving 75 the green light. I-4 also deserving of the green light because those backups approaching the Selma connector are not in the red just yet, but 275 southbound, you're a little bit slow. I'm posting drive times at Tampa Bay Traffic on Twitter. It's going to be busy later on, Jason, but right now it's dry.
Yeah, we're dry at the moment, so that's great news for the morning rush. You don't have to worry about storm showers impacting that morning commute, but it's this afternoon as this tropical wave we've been talking about the last several days continues to pump in plenty of moisture. Look at how we're seeing rain offshore on both sides of the peninsula, and only South Florida seeing some rain right now back inland. Well, all that's going to be heading to the north with this area of low pressure. Thankfully, it did not develop into a depression or a storm, but that deep tropical moisture coming out of the Caribbean, that's what's going to favor us to see scattered showers and storms today. And your rain chance up to 80%. 80%. That's even high for us here in Florida on the rainy season. We normally are around 50 to 60% on a high day for the rainy season. So yeah, we're talking about widespread showers and storms, unfortunately giving us the potential for more flooding. The only good news with the cloud cover and the showers is that our temperatures are held into the mid-80s today, a nice break from those low mid-90s we saw earlier this week. And by 12:30, scattered storms already blossoming on the radar at that point. Futurecast continues to show more moisture coming in through 5:30, 6 and 7 o'clock tonight. Of course, that's when your evening drive is. So we have a widespread threat for showers and storms at that point. Please watch out for local flooding. We picked up so much rain over the last month from all these areas, several days worth of rain in just a matter of one day out there. So watch out for the localized flooding. And of course, river flooding will continue to be a problem for us going over the next week. Quick update here on the tropics. This tropical wave we've been watching in the Atlantic, it's running into some problems. That's good news for us. The National Hurricane Center now downgrading it to a 50% chance of development, down from the 70% it was was yesterday. Still a possible threat to the Lesser Antilles, so we're not writing this off just yet, but a little bit of better news concerning the tropics for us this morning. As we look at Florida's most accurate 7-day forecast, high rain chances with this tropical wave Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. By Tuesday, we start to get back to those normal rain chances, which hover around 40%, and we'll see highs back into the 90s by then. Good morning, Tampa Bay. We'll be right back.
6 minutes till 7. We start your morning sprint now with breaking news. Water up to car doors at some point, causing major problems in the valet parking garage at the Vinoy Hotel in St. Pete. Several cars are likely destroyed, but we're working right now to see if any of them can be salvaged. Workers are racing to try to pump out the water right now because, as Jason tells us, more rain is on the way.
Yeah, a tropical wave we've been watching the last several days is now in South Florida. It's moving to the north, and all the moisture that you see offshore, both the Gulf and the Atlantic, is going to kind of merge in overhead later this afternoon. 80% chances of showers and storms. I'm timing the rainfall for you coming up on Good Morning Tampa Bay's streaming newscast at 7 a.m.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff is urging anyone to seek help if you need it. A Hillsborough deputy is now on paid administrative leave after he shot and killed a man he was said was charging him with a knife. Lenny Griffin's family says he took a bottle of pills and threatened suicide, so they called for help.
Today kicks off the 5-day tax-free sales tax holiday, but you could buy your kids' school supplies tax-free. Of course, every little bit helps. It runs through Tuesday. It's also a good time to grab some supplies for our back-to-school supply drive. ABC Action News is teaming up with Hudson's Furniture and Perkins Restaurants to match your donations. We've got drop-off locations posted right now on abcactionnews.com, as well as information about our back-to-school fair that happens tomorrow, where you can get some freebies.
Coming up at 7 for the second time this week, a missile launcher found in luggage, and the reason the U.S. Sergeant told TSA he had it. That's ahead at 7 o'clock.
Wow. Really? Didn't you learn the first time? Hey, Good Morning Tampa Bay at 7. Tampa Bay's only digital streaming newscast is coming up next.
Download our ABC Action News app. We're live in 4 minutes.